Is going to be in this one. Whoa, everybody. Beans is joining the podcast right now. Reviews day. Beans is real excited about to talk about the Herculoids this week. So,
Yeah,
Awestruck's Comics podcast.
Beams was telling us.
Whoa.
Beams was telling us you get a little long-winded. So Beams is like, I'm here to tighten up the show,
He's going
make
to
it a
tighten
little
it up.
better.
Do a tight 45, he said. You got to do a tight 45. We got to start our Sunday, but daylight savings time's got us all screwed up. I'm all screwed up.
Yeah,
So, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough out there. Awestruck's Comics podcast. Check us out on the X's. Rob Messick,
right.
right?
Yep, that is
Supreme
correct. That is my name.
Supremacy. What's the other one?
Maximum Supreme.
Supremacy. Idiosyncratic Pulp on Instagram. That's me and my stuff at Awestruck Comics Podcast on Instagram. Please check out the news of the week. News of the week is pretty fun this week, but we're going to jump right into reviews day. Reviews, reviews day. Let's get into it. Mm-mm-mm. Boom, right off. Herculoids time, everybody.
Yes.
So we've been waiting for this. We cover this. One of our first stories. One of our first Awestruck stories was Nick Barucci getting lots of different licenses. Herculoids being one of them. We'll get into
Yeah.
some of the variant covers in a little bit. But Tom Sinowski, which is who's mainly what do you associate Tom mostly with, the writer?
Right. Young Hellboy, right?
Well, Chris Rizzo, yes. Well, Rizzo, I do per Habernatza, but I think Sinowski worked on a lot of the '90s Vampirella, and then did work with Mignola on stuff as well.
Yeah, he
Uh,
did do some stuff with it. I just kind of forget at the moment. But yeah, the Vampirella stuff, all the early John Stinsman and Ed McGuinness stuff. Those
oh,
guys
that's
started
right.
their career doing Vampirella.
That's right. I forgot McGinnis did, and that was right around Legends opening. McGinnis was on Vampirella, or
Yeah.
just off of it. I remember being a
He,
couple wall books here and
I
there.
think he did like a Razor issue. He did like this book, I think, Tales of the Undead. Then he did Razor, and then he got on Vampirella, where he hopped over to Marvel. So,
There we go.
and
Craig Rizzo, big fans. Craig Rizzo, long time friend of yours,
yeah,
sort
I
of
talk to him
con friend.
every Baltimore. He's in tight. I got a closer friend named Rich Woodall, and they do a book together, or they did a book together. It was like Kari. It was like a Tarzan girl, alien chick. She was like purple. Kyra, I think it was Kyra, Kyrra, I think. They worked together on that. Rich Woodall, him, Todd DeZago. They make this group of like friends that they work on Perhapanauts together. He's Craig Rousseau does a phenomenal job with Perhapanauts. Him and Todd DeZago, who's another super nice guy. Good podcast too. Very very
Oh, that's
very
right.
friendly.
Yeah, that's right.
But in the past, Waringo was part of that group as well. You know, it's sad I didn't get more conversation. The conversations I had with Mike Baringo are phenomenal. Super positive guy.
Yeah,
Really really interested in like if you told him you had an interest in comics, he wanted to know what you were doing. He had his own books he wanted to do, but like he never got to it because he was always like worried it wouldn't sell. Because I think Telos didn't light the world on fire,
right, right.
which is a fantastic book. I hope everyone they have absolutes of that, like a big hardcover, colossal edition. I think they're called.
Hmm.
The first one's Pure Ringo, and it's a great book. Really good.
Yeah, I think Rizzo might have done a spin-off of that, or
He
one of
did,
them.
yeah. The follow-ups there was like a miniseries. I think he
Tellers.
did especially, yeah. They made a second Telos Colossal, which collects all the other random Telos books all together in one giant hardcover. So but let's talk about Herculoids.
Herculoids. There's like a five. I only put one page in this. I felt like the prologue with all the kind of the setup was like a little too long, but just because I want to get to the Herculoids, you know what I mean? So and I feel like Silverhawks is the same way, but I feel like maybe this is the Dynamite formula. It's like, all right, we're gonna kind of build up the villains, and
I
then that.
honestly, now that you say it, this almost feels like an issue zero. This is the way an
Yeah,
issue zero would have worked in the past. Like villain, 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 boom, heroes at the end. And then when you get to number one, you're like the heroes and what they do.
right, right, right.
But
Yeah, it does feel like a zero. You're right. It feels like Thundercat Zero was like this too. It was like villain. Here's all everyone, and then
yeah,
it's like and then team shot at the end because that's exactly what they did here essentially. And I do like that they have literal like individual pages. I like how
oh my God, the gathering
thin.
of the team post it's like villain, 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 and then it's the gathering of the team. The gathering of the
Yeah,
team is so tropey. I love it. I love it. Like this
Yeah,
is
it's really fun. Like I think
it's
that
like
I like the art's so crazy too. Like it's so minimal, but like look at the hands here. Like that's really fun.
it's the exact amount of lines needed to tell the story.
Yeah,
And
this
the
is
one
it's like almost like Matt Smith. It's weird. I feel like he's going backwards. I feel like he's going like he's taking a step backwards, which is fine. Again,
fine.
he's
That's
strong
Alex
enough that
Toth.
he's able to do that. Right. He's able to pull back because Herculoids character designs were Toth and Kirby, is that right? Or Kirby did
Kirby
storyboards?
definitely did he did Thundar, right? But this might be Toth and
That's
Kirby.
right.
I feel like wait a minute. Was this Hanna-Barbera?
I think so, yeah. Because you got
No research people.
yeah. Right.
Regardless, these are the best. Like out of all those 60s style cartoons, this is one of my favorites. You know, you have as kids we were like Super Friends is always number one. But like we would like everything else. We like Space Ghost. You know, we lost the voice of Space
Captain
Ghost Coast
Caveman,
to Coast. Yeah. We like Captain Caveman. I like the Herculoids. I
Wacky
like
Races.
Thundar. Yes, we loved all of it because we didn't like you can never get enough cartoons,
Mm.
especially
Yeah,
when we were
Scooby
young.
Doo. Yeah,
Especially Scooby-Doo.
we did recognize, I think, at the time what was Warner Brothers, what was Hanna-Barbera, what was eventually Filmation, what was like it had a feel to it a certain way. What was
Yeah.
Marvel Animation. Like we felt like a very specific, but this and this I felt like it all could like live in the same universe. But
Ruby Spears, you know.
yeah, right. Just but I do love that you just basically have, are they all four panel? Yeah. Yeah, I guess they're all kind of laid out four panel gathering of the team. Um, and then you have Gleep and Gloop. And I can almost hear their noises, right?
Yes.
I don't know who has this on streaming, but I know that you can go on YouTube and watch a lot of their episodes are cut in half. They're all like 11 to 15 minutes. So a lot of their episodes are like mini-sodes. So I don't know if it was at the time going to be teamed up with another thing or maybe syndicated that way, but a lot of their episodes aren't full episodes or half. So that's pretty cool. Very cool. Yeah, just very solid, very fun adventure. Just and I do. Oh, I'm trying. I don't remember. I don't know if I put it the
I
letter in this.
They do a good job showcasing the power of these characters. Like this is yeah, a dragon's attacking you that has eye beams. Eight-legged rhino with that can shoot things out of its horn. Like your giant stone creature. Like you don't mess with these guys. I love it.
Yeah,
I
like
love
they
them.
all have the different noises because again, that was a big part of the show. And one of the things that I know when we talk about Thundercats, when we read Thundercats, like we're hearing the voices, and that's what works. So it works
Yes.
with Transformers. That's what it's working with GI Joe. Like if you can hear the voices, these are sounds. They're all the different like eeks and like just if it's all the sounds. Even when with Transformers, they go to choo choo, they put like the words and they half
Right.
transform. So I feel like if you can succeed with that, I feel like some of the Mad Cave stuff, or some of the Nacellverse stuff rather, which I like the stuff I've seen there. I'm not hearing that exactly. I'm not connecting with that too much. I
Well,
don't
they're
think I
not
watch that
really.
stuff as heavy either.
Yes,
So
that's
that's a
pretty
part of it
key.
too. Um, so yeah, you have to be a little bit more involved. So I'm not sure. I would feel that based on like what covers were in this. Let me go over here real fast and let me pause.
Keep going.
All right, here we go. So here's all the covers of this. This was on. I just got a screenshot. This was from his whatnot, I believe. Somebody took a
Okay.
screenshot. I think popped it on, or it was on one of the blogs. But this was a foil. So Hercules, they had two final order cutoff Liefeld variants you can order in, and then this was on his website where he was selling like the signature and everything like that. So great, as you said before, if it's an '80s property, then just call Blyville to do a quick do a variant, please. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thundercats variant.
it works. You know,
He
they should have
has,
used them on Silverhawks. You know, we're
yeah,
gonna see them on Thundar.
right.
You
It's
know,
only going to print X amount for the fans. Plus, he promotes it on his whatnot once, twice a week. So I feel like it's a win-win all around everyone. But yeah, I feel like we missed. He did not get a Silverhawks. And yeah, it would have. It's only going to help. It's only going to help.
yeah,
You've sent me his Conan ones that I think he either sent in or had for
yeah, and
Marvel, and that never happened.
actually they were going to be for Titan.
Or maybe for Titan, yeah. So I feel
Titan,
like
him and
they
Titan.
should.
I don't know what fell. It fell through
Hmm,
somehow. You know, and it happens every once in a while.
yeah.
You know,
I forget who this was. I think
crap.
later on we can
Come
see
on,
all of them.
stop the show for a second. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, I can cut it.
Yeah, let me
Uh,
let me let me get back to you in a couple minutes. My mom just called me like 3 times.
okay. All right.
All right.
All right. So Herculoids cover. So there's your Lensner. Um, this I think is. I think we looked at this before with the trade dress and everything. I feel like this is the best cover. I think lighting and everything up and down is just wonderful on this. I love this
Yes.
one. Let me get the next one. As Bjorn Burns. I don't know how it's so funny that how almost like 3D his stuff, Behrens, how
Right.
like 3D everything feels, right? Like this is so crisp. Hair's crisp. I don't know. I
It's
just like I don't know how much rendering or how much do you
yeah. It
do.
looks like you could like touch it and feel like it's right
Yeah,
a tactile
very cool.
drawing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really, really cool. I think this is Felipe Masafera, I believe. Uh, that faux Alex Ross style.
Yes.
Very, I mean, listen, it's very, very good. He does a lot of covers for Gotchaman too, which are great. Perfect, perfect minimalism here. And again, I'm not sure if Craig made the call on this because I don't really know if there's a lot of Magnolia Dynamite covers. Um,
No, but McNulty is a huge Herculoids fan.
yeah, here's some extras. These were extra. Craig Rizzo, Clayton Crane exclusive.
Yeah, where has he been?
Exclusive. I always see him
Yo,
on exclusives. He has
that
his own
doesn't
website.
it doesn't look finished.
I don't know if I'm not sure if it's maybe the pixelation of me zooming in because you can see the logo is not that
Yeah,
good.
yeah, I think.
Or maybe I took a picture of it and it was like zooming in. I don't know because this looks crisper over here, maybe a little. There's your Hulk annual, the
Yep. The
Steranko
the
homage,
Stranko Hulk.
very very good. The Ryan Brownie, which is different. I'm so confused on which Ryan Browns are Ryan Browns. There's two different Ryan Browns. So where this Ryan Brown is Brownie Gods versus Astronaut Brown?
I feel like he is.
Yeah, I feel like
But
it's
the
too.
colors,
So
no, he didn't color it, that's why.
there you go. Color by Dashmore. You're right because like he colors almost in like a his newest style that's in Lucky Devils it seems to be almost like um color pencil colors. I think that's why
I
you're
didn't I didn't read issue 2 of that. Issue 2 come out?
it did. I don't care enough about I didn't care about enough number one to put it on the list or.
No, no, I'm just saying in general, I forgot to read it,
Yeah.
I think.
I might wait till it's over. I'm not sure how long it's going to be. So Uncanny X-Men. There's so now we're on issue 11. This is
All
the
right.
7 part, which is going to
AKA
be in like
7-Eleven, which
three
is which is where I used to
7-Eleven.
get comics.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's where I got my first Peter Porker. Peter Porker Spectacular Spider-Man number 7 newsstand.
Beautiful. Number 7.
Uh,
Is that that's it, the him walking away cover?
I'm not sure if it's number 7 or not. I have it over there somewhere. But no, that's where he's coming in, and then the guy's in the alleyway. He's kind of swooping in, and then like the like bee with he has like a hostage. He's like about to mug somebody. He's got a
Okay.
little
Okay. Yes,
cigar.
that's not my first one. I think mine's
Yeah,
is walking
I'm not sure
away.
if it's 7 or 8. And then I kind of
And
got
then my
all of them
aunt in
now.
Georgia sent me she found number 1 for me at a comic store. I'm like, yes, you're my favorite aunt.
Is that the number 1 or number 1 Marvel Tales number 1?
It was Peter Porker number 1, but I did find Marvel Tales number 1 also.
I bought Marvel. That was my first wall book. I bought Marvel Tales number 1
Who drew it?
in Mount Laurel. Steve Malloy.
No, no, it wasn't Milton Knight. I thought he drew that.
Not sure. We'll
No,
put
Milton
it in.
Knight did do some Peter Porker.
Peter Porker number 1. Your Peter Porker number 1 is Michael
Yeah.
Golden. It's Michael Golden cover on number 1
Yes.
ongoing. But I thought because it doesn't really say, and I wasn't really staring at the indicia at this time at 9 years old. I'm not going into it, but my brother wanted to go to this comic book convention, and which is now Aloft, the hotel in Mount Laurel, right off the exit.
I
And
remember.
it was a basement con. And then I remember looking at GI Joe number 2. It was on the wall because that was one of the first wall books I've ever seen. Because GI Joe 2 had a very low print run, so GI Joe number ones weren't even in the con. Number 2 was on, and it was I think it was $20 at the time.
Right.
Remember looking at Wolverine, Hulk on the Wolverine cover, and this Joe Fixit in their suits and stuff. The Buscema.
So
That
cool.
was yeah, that just kind of burned into my brain. I think that maybe the McFarlane was that right around the McFarlane with the
Yes.
claws. So I think that was up there.
It was after.
It was
So
after that.
He wasn't Mr. Fix It till after McFarlane left.
Oh, okay,
Like
right, right,
legit,
right.
McFarlane leaves, Larson issue. Within 2 issues later, he's in Las Vegas.
So that might have been there. I remember that being on a wall book. I mean, those were like the big wall books right then, right then.
I went
So,
to that show a couple times in Mount Laurel. And one time it was in a basement. One time it was in their ballroom. One time there was, I don't know, something happened, a flooding or something, and they just put it on a floor. And you kept having to go in and out of hotel rooms. You go in a hotel room, there's a bed,
oh
there's a
wow.
guy with a table and some comics. I'm like, this is awkward.
Yeah, I've seen some of those cons like up in North Jersey where it's like you're in every piece of or the con just overbooked and they're like keep going down that hall. Like and I feel bad for those vendors who probably spend in the same amount of space and like there's a whole other section of the con you don't even know.
Yeah.
Those are still my favorite cons. I feel like even going to all these different cons. I feel like those the we call them basement cons. They're not really basement, but it's like basically like a Elks Lodge. I love my Elks Lodge. My Old Bridge Elks Lodge, which I need to take you to one of those. They're just so funny. They're so funny. A lot of New York dealers.
Cool.
Uh, so Marquez, so out of the number of issues, I think we've already 3 issues, 4 issues. I'm not sure, but I'm just not crazy about. I think it's so goofy. This should be there should be an Uncanny X. There should be an X-Men Alpha here. There's an Omega from an X-Men Hunt Omega coming. So
Yeah.
you're blowing money on you're losing sales. The eight deaths of Spider-Man that the Point Deaths most recent issue is a Juggernaut one shot. Why didn't you just have that? We just saw that Point Deaths is not in the top 30 in the news
Yeah,
we did
Point Death was
earlier.
not in the top 30.
Nope,
The
because they don't
this
count.
book,
It's not a legacy
this
number.
this book, X-Men were in the teens. X-Men was a what, number
X-Men might have
10?
been 11, 10 or 11. Yeah, it was
Right.
not in the top 10.
Uncanny was like in like 17.
Hmm.
And like Exceptional was like in the
28,
high
28,
20s.
29. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So like that's it for your X books. And Storm was like number 30, which is
Emma
great
Frost
for
was up
Storm
there
fans.
too because Emma Frost was number one. Yeah,
Right, but it's
so
number one. So this whole line of X books is sinking.
yeah,
Um,
and but see, like if so, but part like 2, 3, or 5 is NYX not on the top 30, so no one's ordering more of that book to pop it into that top 30. I know that's the goal, but you're having 7 parts in like 3 or 4 weeks. I think 4 weeks total. Javier Garan in this, and I feel like this was a little more cartoony. This was a little more Trad Mori, a little more Trad Mori. Is that a word?
I mean, this
Uh,
page is beautiful.
Yeah, no, I like, and again, he's good at space. My first interaction with Javier Garron was that Cyclops miniseries that
Yes.
Russell
That's a
Darwiman
great
started.
series.
That's a great series, and then right after that, so I'm very pro him. Oh, okay, cool. He's doing space stuff, Starjammers, great. There's, Deathbird, great. I already know this person from this because Corsair was in that book as a co-star, and there was a lot of Starjammers stuff. So I like Starjammer stuff. I like all that stuff. Give me that stuff. Um, do we have a lot of pages of just, comatose
Setting up
Professor
the
Xavier?
manhunt. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little
X
boring.
manhunt.
I
It is
think
a little boring.
I don't care about again, I don't care about any of these four. I don't care. I don't want a training montage. I think Wolverine looks like way fat in this. I think he looks weird. Like I just think it's odd. And I don't know if Jubilee's taller than him technically, or would he be the same size? Maybe, I
I mean,
guess. It's just
technically, she's
really
taller than
squat.
him.
Yeah, I don't like it. This is just boring to me. I just don't care. And I just don't know what they're doing. I just feel like everyone's just at a friggin' standstill. We're
I
at a
mean, the
house.
story is, they're trying to make them better, but they're not great. And Rogue, I guess, is so upset about like how dangerous the job really is. She makes Gambit go hardcore on him, and it's just like, oh, you shouldn't have did that. And now she's like, I know
Yeah.
how Cyclops feels now. Like she's like that part was interesting. This is what it is. Is like he's seeing Rogue's X-Men as the original X-Men. It's a neat page, actually. I like it.
I do like it. I like that it's Wolverine, but Wolverine in like the Beast kind of body,
Right.
which is funny
The
because
Eight
Beast has
Man. Remember
hair,
that Eight Man?
Yes.
Right? Was he
Yeah.
Eight Man at first?
I think so. Yeah. Um, yeah, it's fine. And that's almost like, it's okay. I don't know. But then also scale wise, this is what I think scale's really odd. Wolverine looks 8 foot tall here. Like that scale is wrong, I feel.
Right.
Right? I mean it's
Yeah, I
just
feel
a
like
weird
Professor X
angle.
is like 6 foot. Like he's not short. He's just really short
Yeah.
in the chair.
I remember the again post Starjammers Alondra, the 277, 278, the white cover
Ooh,
with
beautiful.
Professor X standing above Wolverine and
Gladiator.
Jim Lee. Um
Oh yeah.
so yeah, I'm thinking of the cover, I'm thinking of the white cover.
Yes.
But yeah, so I don't know. I just again, and again, there we go. And then so this is the problem is like right now they just they're done, right? So now they're here, they're done, which means that we're not going to see them again until Omega. So then NYX is going to be the NYX crew, whoever that is. Is X-23's in there? Yeah. Laura,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, Laura
Lara
Wolverine,
Lara
right?
Kinney.
Laura Kenny Wolverine. Are they going to call her
Slater
that? You know what I mean?
Slater
Like
Kinney.
we're just so but then
No,
so that's going to be the issue, and then they're going to be defeated at the end. And guess what's going to happen after that? Storm by herself is going to fight him, and then she's going to get beat at the end. This is going to be the same panel for 5, 6 issues, and then it'll be Omega. Then they're all together, and then they're like, oh, by the way, excuse me, X Factor, NYX, and X Force, you're all canceled. Sorry about that. So way to go. Good job, Tom Brevoort. Way to go. Um, there's the JSA 5, or should I say JSA 15? Because I feel like since this entire series started, and I'm not complaining because I think it's kind of neat. We are just in it. We're in
no,
the
they
middle
are.
of it. When we started
They hit.
issue 1, it felt like issue 3, and now we're at issue 5. It feels like issue
Mhm.
10. Like it's
And we're
like
not
really
saying that.
accelerated.
We're not saying that in a confusing way. This
Mm-mm.
book hit the ground running, which sometimes you don't expect from Lemire. Lemire approaches
No,
book in a different way. And I love it because if you read anything else of his, it's always like slowly introducing everything. Here's the concepts, here's the people, and it builds up to stuff. This is like, hey, you already know who these people are. Let's go.
I think it's
Catch
really
up.
funny. I think what my feeling is Lemire read the last 12 issues or 13 issues, whatever the heck it was, of Jeff Johns, which never started. It never fucking started. It was always about to start. Even the last issue shouldn't have been a JSA issue.
Right. It was a Stargirl
It
special.
was a Stargirl special. Like it never started. So I feel like he read that. He's like, okay, I'm going to start in the middle because you guys
Listen,
just dealt with shit for a year.
Jeff Johns came
Nothing
in.
fucking happened.
Jeff John comes in. He's like, here's Legion. Here's a Legion version of the Justice Society. Here are these in the future. Here in the past. Here he is all over the place. But we never got the culmination of that. We never got the interaction, the smooth storyline. He created a whole new section of Golden Age sidekicks and new heroes,
Right.
and like we didn't
We didn't
we
get it.
didn't we
We
didn't get
didn't
it.
gain from it. I guess the only thing we gained is this guy's art because this is the guy who did the Flash. Is that right?
Yes,
He did the
right,
Flash, which is funny because I feel like his art I would want on the cover, and on that Flash series, I feel like it was Todd Nauck covers. He didn't do the
right.
covers of
No,
that, so it's similar. It's similar. Just as Cully Hamner is similar art to this. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this guy does a really good like delineation of stuff. I feel like
yeah,
there's a Bradshaw, there's Nick Bradshaw. Yeah,
yeah. He's fun to look at because every month we're like, here's a little Capullo, here's a little Victor
yeah,
Bogdanovich,
yeah.
here's a little, you know what I mean?
I'm
Like
feeling
we
like Panosian on like that. I feel like
Panosian, we
Panosian.
always see Panosian,
Yeah, I like the
and
the
that's
scribbles.
intentional or not. The guy's giving us something. He's giving us something neat. It's always fun to draw demons.
Yeah, it's really
Um,
good. Listen, he's a perfect choice. I like that they're like wearing his stuff. That's really funny. And again, just really impactful. Who is this guy, Luis Guerrero? Again, I don't know what he did before. I think he just did that Flash series, for what I understand. But
what the
look at
colorist?
nah, just the artist.
Oh, Diego
Yeah,
Orlatugi,
the colorist is
Allure,
who? Oh, I'm
Luis
sorry.
Guerra.
Yeah, Diego. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I had to cover up. Yeah, Luis Guerrero is the colorist, but yeah. So I don't know if these guys always work together, if they're a team. Like we feel like the marriage between the two, especially when we look at Mora and Alejandro Sanchez and Mora as Timber Bonvillain. These guys
Listen,
are
man,
peanut butter and
that
jelly,
Hawk girl,
please.
that Hawk girl drawing up top is on point. Like, I hope X-Men doesn't steal this guy.
Is Hawkgirl? Oof, that's good. That's a good choice. Yeah. But again, not none of the two main X-Men books, Uncanny. We feel like the A and the B artists are really close. Stegman's really close to Nether Diaz. Well, Stegman's better than Nether Diaz technically, but Nether
Right,
Diaz is coming up, and as much as I didn't really like the cartoonish style, it's still very capable. Uncanny guy. So,
right.
um,
And the
but
B artist
here,
here, the B artist on this book was really good. He
oh,
had the
that's right.
issue before we realized he wasn't drawing the issue.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Last Issue was just that. So, um, yeah, just really, really fun. There's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, again, even like there's the heavy subplots of Johnny Thunder and Obsidian stuck. Look at how crazy that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is,
This
I mean, that's Surtur. That's it. They're doing
this
Ragnarok
is
still. We've read
this is
Ragnarok a
why
bunch of times.
this is why he needed a month off because he had this to draw and those the
Yeah.
Hawk Girl. Like these are really good pages.
Yeah. And I wonder, like, I understand, like, how much work is he putting back to this and then they fuzz it out. I wonder if he gets pissed. I wonder if comic artists are like actors, do they go back and look at stuff? I feel like sometimes when they talk about looking at old stuff, they hate looking at it. They
No,
hate
they
it because
absolutely
they
they
can see.
absolutely go back because they it's so exciting to get published. You want to see how it looks.
Yeah. I guess with this, it goes through a couple different people, so it's not, you don't know exactly what it when it left you.
You might
Um,
have known. Milligan drew a picture of Evangeline one time,
or
and he put a bunch of stuff in the background that looked cool black and white, but in color it took away from the figure of Evangeline. And
mm,
our colorist Dex knew that, and I think he put it all in like I don't think he blurred it, but he definitely made it all one color, so it looked like a background. So it's like it just made the character pop, and it's one of Milligan's favorite drawings of Evangeline. Like we've
mm.
shown it, like he showed it to Campbell, and Campbell's like, "Yeah, that's awesome." And that made Milligan's day. Because what's better than getting like that's awesome from J. Scott Campbell?
Right, right, right. Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, I mean, these guys are just like doing a ton, and
Yeah,
this costume design is like
but not
really, really
blurring that
good.
background, it might have taken away from the drawings of the
Probably.
characters. Is the point I was getting to?
I don't know if it's too blurry though. I just feel like this guy's drawing a lot of things.
Yeah,
But again, great cliffhanger. So I think every issue has
who's
had
that?
some type of cliffhanger.
MC Eicher, right? MC Eicher is that the
M's, um, yeah, MC Escher. Yep.
Eicher? See, I pulled that
MC
name out of my butt.
Hammer.
Like we go through these things where we're like, I don't know, I forget,
We can't think of
and
that.
then
Yeah. But we have that.
brains.
Um, yeah, but I feel like every issue of this has been a cliffhanger, right? Because then Hawkman was captured at
Yes,
the end of that. So I feel like there's a good formula to this that I think is really fun. And
he's got it going.
did we say that he is doing Times Past issues too coming up too? So like
Yeah, I think so.
Lemire's honoring the Starman,
Tradition,
the legacy of that. So that's what it is. This book should just be like straight legacy. Um,
dude. I love
that
this book.
Mothra. This was good, right? I mean, seriously, like
No, this was
I know
really good.
I joke about, well, this I figured I mean, I didn't even put on the list. Like I was super late sending you list stuff because I keep working on my office like crazy. But this is new, but it's Sophie Campbell, which again. Oh, I have it right
She
here actually.
she
Uh,
writes it and she
there we go.
draws a couple pages.
Whoop.
Sophie
Got
Campbell,
my
look at that.
glory hardcover. This
Get
is a wonderful hardcover, by the way. Wonderful,
beautiful.
wonderful, wonderful. So yeah, super, super fun hardcover here. This was, how much was this? This should be in print. It's only $35. Woo, what
Um,
fun.
if it's not a print, it's always available digitally.
Oh, is it
Yeah, because
this version?
Liefeld owns Glory. Yeah, that version
Oh,
is
okay.
available digitally.
Man, there's so much extra in this, dude.
Yeah,
I'm just looking
it's
at it
totally
now.
worth getting.
Yeah, this is like, look at that. That's a lot. It's a lot extra. I don't know if you can see that. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's a chunk, a lot of sketches. But yeah, I mean, like, listen, Sophie Campbell's had a lot of success. IDW, I mean, again, I always give them props on the variety of how these Godzilla
they
properties are handled.
they're good to
And
work with. Like Liefeld worked with them on Snake Eyes. He always raves about how great they were to work with. You know, they Sholey worked with them. Like they Sophie Campbell keeps working with them. They worked with John Byrne. So they
oh,
have a level of like
and
knowing
a
how to deal
level
with
of
people.
resiliency,
Yes.
and allowing the creator to go off. This reminded me a lot of basically the scene in Pacific Rim, which is almost the same scene. I think even the same like coloring in a
Is
way.
this is that a new character, Antra? Was it so friggin' obvious? I can't imagine no one else thought of Antra
I
before.
think so. I don't think
I
so. Yeah,
love
because we
it.
know Batra, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
we
yeah,
know.
that's it's but and I want to say this is Matt Frank. I want to say that this person drew a different Godzilla miniseries because I feel like when I was reading this, I was like, oh, okay, I see this. So I feel like did something in the world, whether it be one shot, arrivals, one shot, something. But yeah, just again, all trauma. And that's what the majority of the human stories are in any of these movies,
Yeah.
good movies or not. But a lot of
It's
emotion on the face. Creatures are excellent.
it's the
Inking's
best
excellent.
parts. Like I said,
Coloring.
it's the best parts of like a Pacific Rim, giving you the size and scope, or Cloverfield, you
Yeah.
know, when all the flea type creatures were coming off. Like this is scary.
Yeah. And
It's
then
you don't know what
Aftermath.
it's like. Yeah. And she's living inside the dead skull. Like this is very it reminds me of I'll bring it up again, Planetary number two, Zero
Right.
Island, you
Right.
know, and we get a good size and scope of the monsters, and that's what makes this book special.
You got
People
this.
forget that.
You got a gem. This is
Look at that.
technically the third property that Sophie's worked on because it worked on Turtles has a kind of a Turtles continuity because some of the Turtle stuff is still continuing in its own separate book. They're at like Midnight or Mutant stuff. All that mutant stuff is
Yes,
still her continuity
her
concepts.
continuity, right?
And then the gem, which I want to say I saw recently, but I think it was expensive. I think they have a pretty nice like perfect collection of that, but that's
It's
also a
really
Sophie Campbell book.
yes. It was. I like Gem when I read it
I
until I
think
forgot. I kind of
there's a
forgot
couple
about it.
pages in this. I don't know if this page, I think this might be a Sophie Campbell page. I think that might be right. They're pretty close in style, but I believe she did 2 or 3 pages inside of this book. But again, same thing. There's a lot of twins concepts involved. Always has been from original Mothra first appearance and everything through. So yeah, really interesting. I'm not sure if this is a mini or what. I'm not sure exactly on this, but super fun. The covers. That's Sophie's cover. That's why I think that drawing is similar just by the eyes.
Yes,
But excellent. And then again, there's Matt Frank's cover. Great, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful design. Just really, really crazy. Yeah, really good. So, um, this was okay, and here's why. So this is Star Wars Jedi Knights #1, which is stories we want to see. Right? I think this
right.
is Messafera's cover. I think I pulled out the other cover, but lots of. I mean, so we got Plo Koon, we got Yaddle, we got
Yep.
Kiadamundi. Um, that person I believe was in. You got Dooku, Qui-Gon, a good Obi-Wan there. Actually, really good Obi-Wan. When I first saw this, I didn't recognize. So they're
Christopher Lee,
basically it's like a
right?
de-aged Christopher Lee, which is kind of fun. You got Mace Windu, so
Did
you
you
got
watch?
the
Did you
lineup.
watch the Star Wars Tales cartoon?
No,
Ah, dude, you got to watch it.
yeah.
It's good. It's actually like it's good. What was it? Was it Jedi Tales and then Sith Tales? I forget what it was called.
Yeah, I think there was. I think so. It was 3 episodes or something. 3 little
Well,
mini movies, sort of.
yeah, no, they were good.
Hmm.
And then there was DuckTales. Ooh,
Yeah, see, I'm so bored by like I don't know. I feel like whenever I tried to watch Bad Batch. I watched like 2 episodes and got bored. Like I feel like I get the animation
yeah.
stuff just gets boring to me.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
think I don't think it's its fault. I don't know. I have such a low tolerance for such a low attention span. You can give me 100 issues of something, I can read that, but I feel like I get 2 episodes into something. If it's not really grabbing me, I'm out. I'm out.
That's
I'm
a
out.
problem with animation, is that you're not comics. You can read at your own pace. You can stop. You can
Mhm.
slow down. You can speed up. With cartoons, it's their pace that they want to tell you their story,
Oh
and
yeah, that might
sometimes
be right.
it's
It
and
might be the
sometimes
way I
it's
do it.
it might be.
Hmm.
When we listen to podcasts, I listen to a lot of them at like 1.75 speed because I can understand things very quickly. I got a fast moving brain, and sometimes I even talk too fast. I got to concentrate in order to talk slow for this podcast, which
Hmm.
I forget about half the time. Like nobody is ever going to listen to this at like double speed
Right.
because you won't
Right.
understand anything I say.
Right. 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 Yeah. There's a lot of times when we're hype and we go super fast, and there's sometimes we're like so low energy. We're like oh exhausted.
Yeah,
Um, The main issue with this book, I have no real problem with this book. I think these are a little too clever for their own good. Like, I feel like it's a little too much. Master of Masters, already a legend, Mace Windu. But I almost feel like that's kind of correct because we were just kind of like, here's the feeling of Mace Windu when we first meet him.
yeah.
Kiadamundi. Um, I don't know. I feel like they're mixing new people in. I don't know if it's a new person. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not
I
mad
didn't
at it.
recognize her.
But I feel like that, Qui Jin Maverick. I don't know if Maverick. I'm not. Maybe
No,
overconfident, recently
he is. That's
knighted.
why he's not on the council.
Yeah, this guy is like, okay, this is gonna be the dick. Well, you just knew right off. You're like, this guy is the bad guy. He's like, he's gonna fuck up, which he does.
Yeah.
You
When
know,
you call him overconfident, it doesn't
doesn't
don't
bode
call someone
well.
overconfident. It never bodes well.
It's
He's
never bode well.
overconfident.
You're gonna
That
fuck it
will
up.
that his overconfidence will help us out later. No, that's
Yeah, I
not.
feel like that's a character we kind of know, and then this one isn't. So I feel like they do a thing.
Yes.
But here's the problem. So they have action in the first like 4 pages, right?
Right,
Then they
right.
have like, here's everybody walking around, which is like some of the bitching about some of those movies. They just walk around talking. They're like, what are we gonna do? We need to do something. Let's sit around a little half circle. How feel you? You know what I mean? Like we're just gonna keep doing how feel you back and forth, back and forth. Um, So I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this. But then you have this like weird looking. I feel like even like the Sith villains or whatever, they all kind of have the same vibe and feel a little bit. I guess
Yeah, it's
I don't
very
know.
very close to Snake Eyes on this one.
But here's the problem: is it like this could be 4 pages, and they put all the action really tight in one page. It's really odd to me. It's really weird.
12
And then
panels.
that's it. They put 12 panels. This couldn't be have been a double spread splash or 4 pages. Take out 2 or 3 pages where they're just talking. Nothing's going on back there. I didn't put
You
those
know,
pages in.
let's spread out. Let's us walking through the forest, and
Just
then we'll
walking
jam
around.
together in the fight scene. These
So
are
weird.
comics. Listen, man, on a movie or TV show, this they would be evenly paced, and
Mhm.
they all get equal screen time because there's only one
Let's
screen.
get back to talking.
But but
Let's
with
look at some stuff here. Let's look at things and
but
let's
with
talk.
comics, you have the choice.
Even here
Let's talk.
you could have in this could be like 4 issues. You have everyone doing shit, you know? I remember her dying in the Order 66. You could have it. Listen, you
Yeah,
have everybody doing stuff, but again, we can't see that. Nah,
no,
skip it. You know what I mean?
nope,
Like let's get out of it. And then
no hope.
you got this. This was the only panel I thought was real weird. And also when I'm screenshotting it, I think I'm screenshotting it. And I'm just like kind of like just accidentally putting like little marks. And there's a couple on the other one too. I'm just kind of like
Yeah,
saving
that's all.
it.
I thought you
I'm
were trying to
swiping
point
it.
something out.
Nah, I was swiping it, and then it'll put a little marker in, and then I save the picture. But pretty funny. But yeah, this felt like it was like a posed. This felt like a Greg Land feel, you know. Um, Also really weird when I say how feel you is a joke from. Well, it's literally what Yoda says to
And
Anakin
Phantom
as a
Menace.
boy,
Yes,
but in on the
the M
MTV Movie Awards, the whatever Ben Stiller directed. And was it because who was Cadamundi? It was Andy Dick,
Andy
right?
Dick. Yeah,
And
of
they just
course he
kept
was, because
repeating the same line over and over again. How feel you? And he's like, what? Like,
because
and
they're
just kept
they're making
repeating.
fun of Yoda being old and little, not all
Yeah,
there. So how
yeah, I
feel
love
you?
it. I gotta watch that again. That's so
Oh,
funny. But
it is
I
great.
just think it's funny that we still reference that. We reference that like a lot.
Yeah. When did
And
Phantom
this
Menace come out? 25 years ago? Was that 2000?
2000,
99?
yeah,
2099? I forget. The
2099
That's
come
right.
out.
I like it.
And then like this is like I
This
like
is
all of
crazy. I
this.
like this.
A
I
Shredder,
like
yeah,
I like
Shredder.
Bad Yoda. Bad Yoda's
Yeah,
hilarious.
you got Shredder there.
You do
You
got
know who this
Shredder, I do.
character looks like? What's kind of funny? Maybe this was the character that was supposed to be in the big guns
Oh
on
yeah,
that
your Big Guns
poster. It
poster.
kind of looks like that. It kind of looks like that picture
Yes.
of that character who never showed up in Silver Sable. Okay, Silver Sable in the Wild Pack. They have this character's like blue with glasses. Okay, I've never seen that character before. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff. There's like a lot of crazy shit going on in this,
There's
and
that
there's
there's that green chick again. They like her. Oh, to the
yeah,
left.
yeah.
Like we think they created her for this.
Oh yeah. I think so. I think so. And you know who that is? That's
Oh,
Jar Jar. That's
yeah,
Ahmed
that's Jar
Best.
Jar
So they're using Ahmed Best in
from that
which
scene
from
in
the one scene was that Ahsoka he was in?
yes.
So that's cool. Listen, that's fine. Listen, do this. We this is way overdue. This is way overdue. Okay. And this is a Star Wars trope too, where you're flying away from a monster that's going to eat you. That's a Star Wars trope from Empire, and that's okay. Do it all the time. Do it all the time. They do it. There's always a bigger fish. You do it all the time. So yeah, if this is things to come, I trust Guggenheim on this. So we'll see. I don't. So
Yeah.
far, we didn't. I think I read it. You may have read the Legacy of Vader, which is the Kylo Ren book. Was
Uh,
pretty good. Wasn't great, but it was pretty good. And that was is that Soul? Charles Soule, Luke Ross.
I believe so.
Um, so we're in okay shape for Star Wars. I fell off all the weird Jakku shit. Right? You finished all that shit. All the Return to
Yes.
Jakku.
Yeah,
Let's go to
I finished it.
Jakku. We left Jakku.
It was a struggle.
Seemed like a
Struggle was
lot.
real.
There was like 3 miniseries, and they were just like, we're just hanging out on Jakku. Now we're going to leave it. Now we're going to go back to it. I don't know. I felt like every title looked. I just stared blankly at it. I'm like, I don't know. Did I read this? I don't know. So it was just kind of crazy to me.
You know what we
So
need? I think that art suffered from not being colored enough. Like this book seems very nicely colored.
yeah. You might be right. Yeah, this feels like a finished book. This feels very
Yes.
much like a finished book. I'm not sure this guy is too either. It's pretty good. The art's pretty good.
Yeah.
But there's also a little bit of prequelitis with this shit, right? Because guess what? There's not going to be any danger. There's no danger here because we already
Plot
saw him
armor.
die.
Everyone has plot armor.
Yeah, there's no danger. I'm not going to feel unless they're going to kill. First off, we know they're going to kill the guy who's overconfident. He's dead next issue. Boom, right away.
Right.
You know,
We know this guy's not going to kill Qui-Gon because somebody else kills Qui-Gon, and we've seen it.
we've seen
So
it.
plot armor. We know when Obi-Wan dies. We know when Yoda dies. We know when Order 66 kills 99% of them.
Yeah, and I also don't like the force future visions type of thing where we know it's wrong. So it's like,
Yeah.
well, how good's that power?
This
That power
this may
sucks.
happen. Well, we know it's not. It's not going to happen. I
Yeah, daydream,
guarantee you.
same thing. So you have a daydream. I have a daydream something bad's going to happen, and then it does happen. I go, see, I have psychic. What if it doesn't happen? What if the shoe doesn't drop? Shoe always drops. Anyway, enough, enough. All right, here we go. Boom, Thundercats, baby.
Book of the week.
Uh,
Maybe?
yeah, I think so. Ultimate is pretty cool. Ultimate is pretty,
Oh
and you
yeah,
told me
Ultimate.
Ultimate was a last minute addition
Yeah.
because I was like, oh, I get it, and then I didn't get it, and now I got it. So,
And he got
yeah,
it good.
really, really fun. This is look at that, dude.
We
Can
love
we
Jay Lee.
can we get a one shot? Look at how intense this arm is. Oh my
Did I say
God.
that I'm currently doing Jay Lee Youngblood stuff on my Twitter,
Yes.
Rob Messick Twitter?
Yeah.
I think I
What's
said it in the
crazy?
news.
Yeah, the chapel because you have the chapel promos
Yeah, so good.
because he was
And I
doing he's
dropped it.
doing trilogy at the same time. That's the thing is like I have that wizard issue with so it's his because I almost put that poster up on my bulletin board. It's tough one. No Jay Lee on the bulletin board. God, I need more walls now. Need more
You
walls.
do. And
Um,
more cork. More
more
cork
cork,
for the
baby.
more cork.
I could technically change. Well, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going
Cork,
to change my
cork.
stuff at downstairs. I have a Superman. After Superman trial, I put all Superman on the downstairs. Which is what 50 something. It's 50 comics. So I
You
could.
know
But
what?
I was thinking about doing all Conan or actually all Barbarian, Red Sonja. I don't know. I don't know what to do down there. But now I want maybe I just do all an artist. Do Jay Lee. Like I wonder what I know I have Perez probably the most, but I wonder who I have. Probably a good Kelly Jones run. Do I do an artist per block? I don't know. Too many choices.
You
I'm
know,
giving
you
myself
know
too
what I
much
would
time.
love to see? Like, I would love to see like this cover drawn by 1993 Jay Lee. What would that
Hmm.
look like?
With razor blade.
It would look awesome, dude. Max. It
Yeah,
reminds
I
me a
don't
little
know.
Max Fumera, doesn't it? Like his Panthro had that
Yeah,
Max
no.
Fumera.
Yeah. Max Romero from Ape Sapien. Did a lot of other stuff, but like that, I always think
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the Ape
He's
Sapien
currently
stuff.
on a Remender book, right? Isn't he on a?
Descenders, Descenders. No,
No,
yeah, he is on
something.
that book. I forget what that book's called, but
Yes,
yes,
it's a good book though. Actually, read that book.
Free Mumra. Let me figure mail details on back. That's
Mm,
print money. So there's what 2 pages of dialogue in this, basically.
something. Yeah, this is a
Well,
Snarf centric issue,
a Snarf silent issue.
and it's silent. Yeah, and it's great.
Yeah,
And I guess he could jump through time.
sure.
There's something special or magical about the Snarf creatures.
Yeah. This
This was
was
like,
yeah, this
yep.
was a surprise, but I don't think Shelby didn't write that issue. That was an Ed Brisson issue. So
Yeah,
it's kind of cool that they're kind of pushing that in, and then at the end of this book, they do preview pages of that other series, the Thundercats Lost Coming.
yeah.
So again, lore's super good.
Which says it came out this week.
Oh no, yeah, it did not. So
It did
if
not.
if it
It
was
said,
supposed to, I'm happy that it got scattered away from that. So
we prefer our books to be spread out a touch.
yeah,
Don't give me. I mean, Skybound does a great job of that. We don't get the same Transformer GI Joe book in a week. We don't. They're all separated out.
yeah. This
We
I
never
feel
get
like
Transform.
it's funny when I read this. I feel like I'm reading this and I'm like saying it to myself. Thundercats will always be with me. Always be with me. So you must return to them. If you do not, the worst happen. That's right. I agree with that. I agree with that.
And
I'll
I'm
just
hearing
keep
Tom
watching
Kenny's
Thundercats.
voice in my head.
I love it, dude. I love it.
I do.
And this is
That's what's great about these books.
yeah, this is so cool. But yeah. Oh, you're right. Until March 5th. It is March 5th.
Boo. It's the
So
ninth
that's
now.
okay. Push it
It's
out a
fine.
week or two. Maybe I guess this might have been late. Maybe this was supposed to come out a week or two ago. But I'd rather have a full Drew Moss issue, no problem. Like
Do
even though
you
the fill-ins that
think
they've have are pretty solid.
we don't have LCSs right now, you and I. We go to stores, but we don't have like something we belong to like we used to.
Mm.
But
Mhm.
do you think they hold back digital if the paper comics aren't getting there? Like these are only getting delivered through Diamond.
Oh,
Diamond and
right.
Dynamic Forces are still
Yeah.
together, but they're a week late on everything, aren't they?
I
So I guess
don't know.
like when Diamond says,
Yeah.
"Ah, we didn't get out Thundercats lost this week," does Diamond does
The
Dynamite then contact like Google Play or Comixology or
Kindle and
wherever
stuff.
it's
Right,
like,
right, right.
yeah,
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Good question. Good question. I was going to put more preview pages for this, but I did not because I'm like, well, we're going to review that for sure. So
yeah.
no problem. I'm actually like, we're both kind of excited for that series. Not that we're not excited for regular Thundercat series, but we want to see. We've always thought of this, of like, what
You
is
know,
that team? What is
I,
what is
I
going on with
wanted
that
to
team?
I wanted to make this point earlier, but like the second wave of Thundercats, I was kind of getting out of cartoons at that time, so I was
Mm,
aware of Pumari and Linkso and Bengali, but I didn't stick with the cartoon. And when we were talking about Mask earlier, they had a second wave of Mask toys that like I was kind of getting out of it as that was coming in. Just like Transformers, it took till like the fifth wave. Like really, it was like the MicroMasters and the
mm,
Pretenders when I kind of got out of it. So it was always like where my knowledge kind of ended,
right, right.
which makes it all the more interesting when you come back in. Like Transformers is extremely fascinating because it continued in Europe and it continued in Japan, independent of
Different
each other.
continuities. Yeah, right, right.
So it's like, well, that's more Transformers, but there wasn't any more Thundercats. There wasn't any more Mask, you know?
And even Transformers like Marvel UK is technically like another offshoot continuity. Oh, crap! We forgot to do that in the news. Did you see the Thundercats compendium? There was information, and I don't even know if in a second. The compendium is pretty big. The Thundercats compendium is like 1 to 60 or something. I'm like, geez, that's a lot.
What?
It's 1 to
Wait a
something.
minute. You mean Transformers?
Transformers.
Okay.
The
Go
compendium
say.
is
You
being
said
talked about.
Thundercats.
Oh,
You
okay.
said Thundercats,
I'm
and I'm
sorry.
like,
Yeah, well, they are doing a Thundercats uh
yes, but that's
Kickstarter
that's much
through
less. That's like
Dynamite.
the Star
Yeah,
Comics.
right, right, right.
But
But
we
then
hope, we hope they
I
can do
hope
the Wildstorm
so.
comics at some point.
Yeah, I'll try to find
Give
that
me,
inside information. I'll try to find that inside information. But like but the Thundercat, but I'm sorry, but the Transformers, I keep saying Thundercats. The Transformers in another it was on a Transformers website that I go to from time to time. I'm not sure TF now or whatever, but they
yeah,
said that
yeah,
the UK stuff is going to be in Generation 2 is going to be printed and the UK stuff. And I'm like,
phenomenal.
oh boy. But I wonder but can you do, and I know they're not going to do this, like the UK stuff. You're a gypsy. This guy's never on camera. You're never on camera. Now you're on camera. You did
She
it.
is, she is a gypsy.
Um, so so the she had sleeve of roast beef, sleeve, whatever. Anyway, sleeve of roast beef. But yeah, so I'm excited for any Marvel UK. But then I also wonder, wait, does Transformers the compendium? Or no, we haven't seen it yet, right? We haven't seen Transformers compendium.
Well, it's not out yet,
It's
correct?
gonna have they're gonna have issue three, right? Issue three is gonna have Spider-Man in it, right? Like in it, right? Like that's
Hmm. I hope so.
Spider-Man's in it, you know?
IDW did.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. So you're gonna have Death's Head in
Um,
it.
you know
Death's
what it
Head,
is?
baby.
Listen. Hasbro has to deal with Marvel. They're not gonna, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hasbro makes all the Disney toys,
Death's Head.
so they work together.
It's
Cool.
me, Death's Head.
You totally
See?
disappeared. Doesn't that suck?
Oh,
You go to
yeah.
do something funny and it fails.
Yep, as usual. As per usual. So anyway, super fun. Yeah, great. Again, this was issue what? I don't even, I'm actually past. I'm not sure. Issue 11?
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's okay.
Here we go. Mark Spears getting
Actually,
all the covers. He loves the covers. This is another person. I don't know who this is. Jamie Coker doing very cool. I'm trying. This looks like somebody. I guess like Mark
looks like
Brooks.
Kevin McGuire mixed with
Yeah.
Mark Brooks. I see that.
Yeah. All
Mixed
right.
with yeah,
Yeah. Pretty fun. Pretty
yeah.
fun. A little Christian Ward coloring a little bit.
Hmm.
But yeah, Mark. I mean, listen. Mark Brooks constantly getting some. I like his signature, the big fat
Yeah, the
McFarlane-esque
McFarlane
signature.
banner.
I still haven't seen because I don't think they have digitals of it. I think Keenspot does his monsters book. Is that right? It's like a Mark Spears monsters, and it's all
Yeah.
like I think almost like Universal monsters and shit. However he's doing, I'm not sure he's doing slight variations of it, but I don't know. I've never seen anything him besides covered. I've never seen any interiors from this guy yet, so I'm curious. He's getting a lot of work. He's getting a lot of work.
Yeah, people really like him.
Anyway, listen, pros get paid. Pros get paid.
Pros get paid. Pros,
I
not
put this on
bros.
the list, and I haven't read. I haven't. I think this comes out very infrequently, and
Right?
I did you read this? And I feel bad if you read this because I have. There's
I
a
did not.
lot. Okay, good. Because guess what? It's really
What?
confusing. And I don't know exactly because he goes into like another dimension, then his body's a bit different, and then he goes back out and he's a baby. Like it's super confusing. It's just a lot of like great looking stuff. But I feel like this was kind of like Headlopper later, because Headlopper early, if you read Headlopper, which is Andrew McLean's book from
Hmm?
Image, it was the first so many stories were pretty easy to follow. The further you got into his stuff, the it was harder to follow. I think he knew what he was doing, but I feel like I was a little lost. Here was the same thing. I like this panel because I feel like he almost looks like got a mohawk. I don't think that's
Yeah.
but it looks like OMAC in my opinion. It looks like the OMAC. But then there's just I don't know. I can't really tell. It's just insane action blood. Um, and then again, like here we go, and then he goes into a different dimension. Then he's like a little baby here. I don't really know what's going on. Again, don't exactly
You
care
you
either because look at
you
this.
didn't read Oblivion Song, but there's Oblivion Song feel to this issue.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, this is Skybound too, which I thought it's kind of weird because I feel like Ultramega when it first came out it was not Skybound, but now it
Hmm.
is. I'm not sure. I feel like it was not Skybound, but I feel like this is look, the reason we have Danny Warren Johnson is this guy, is James Harren doing BPRD stuff
Right.
and doing just crazy shit. And he's like, I can draw like this, I can do that, I can do that. And then it just pushed Danny Warren Johnson more and more and more and more in. And now I feel like it's like Danny Warren Johnson's like, hey, Kirkman, whether it's true or not, Kirkman, we need to just pay. I like what look at this guy's stuff, so put it in. So, but you're right. This does have a Oblivion song, which I've only read like three issues. I only read the first like three and then stopped. Not because it's bad. I just like again, I need to be like entrenched in the characters for a certain. I think when
It's a
I
book that serves better when you read it all in one sitting.
there is a compendium for that. I wonder if that would be good in a paper on paper.
It's
So,
great. Probably no covers though.
uh,
Boo. I'm anti-compendium. I love them. Just put the covers in. Like
I
I
want.
understand I understand the idea of a compendium. The most amount of pages cheap as you can.
Mm,
But put the damn covers in it.
mm.
Like you don't have to put in the variants. You don't have to put in all the sketchbook material. Like we still want to keep our
Yeah,
trades and hardcovers. We especially want to keep our hardcover special.
I want to see
Hardcovers
what the
are the pinnacle of comic collecting for me. They're the best thing you could get out of a comic, I feel. But the compendiums, I get it. You got 50 issues of a comic, boom, a compendium. 38
yeah.
issues, compendium. 46 issues, compendium. Just do it. I think 48 is the exact number for a compendium.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think but that's the way it's funny. That's the way he ends the way he planned with the way Kirkman plans his books is by compendium number in a way, like his post
He does.
books.
He goes by trade, then hardcover. He was doing absolutes for a while, and then compendium. That's how he thinks. He thinks on those
Right.
different levels.
Right. That's his absolutes are what called ultimate editions because they're doing
Well, his Invincibles were an ultimate, but then he had omnibuses too that were absolute sized.
oh, I
His
see.
ultimate editions matched the Marvel Ultimate editions, which they don't really do anymore.
Right, right.
Although, what if they could bring them back? That's interesting, Mark. After we get 12 issues of Ultimate Spider-Man, X-Men, whatever, they should bring back the style of the old Ultimate
I like
hardcovers.
those. Yeah, I like those. And I actually have I wonder there was because I know volume 3 of Ultimate collections of Savage Dragon posted and I was like, are they out of print? So I looked them up, and there was one lot that was like 35 for one and two. I was like, ooh, that's like less than half off. I'll probably lose because it was a bid. It wasn't a buy it now.
Ah,
So I was like, I'll probably lose out and leave it. But I was like, if I got that
yeah.
for $35,
They're
it was $5
nice.
shipping.
He did a lot of recoloring issues because like the
Mm,
files were missing, but he tried to match them to how they like if I didn't tell you, you wouldn't have noticed.
yeah,
What was interesting about Dragon is he actually recolored at the very least the first issue. Between the first issue and then the trade of the first issue, he recolored the book
mm.
better.
That was
It
what
looks
Steve
better.
Olaf.
Gregory Wright, and then I think it went to Steve Olive.
And then Ruben Rude, Ali
Yes,
Optics.
Ali Optics,
Uh,
Ali Optics tree.
yeah, this was just a lot of stuff. Then there's like, and then they pull out a baby. I don't know. Again, I don't know what's happening in this issue, but
When you go
crazy.
alternate dimension, you can do whatever you want to.
It's a lot. I have no idea what's going on in that issue. Anyway, so yeah, that was just kind of a mind fuck. But I wanted to just kind of again showcase the art. It's more of a situation where I just want to like look at it.
No, it's like looking
And
at Bill Plimpton. Just enjoy it.
yeah.
By the way, Bill Plimpton, pretty nice guy. He actually was a teacher at Milligan's art school. Milligan went to the
Oh,
Philadelphia
really?
Art Institute, and he was like a teacher there.
Huh.
But I always see him at New York or whatever.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's
Yep, Bill
interesting.
Plimpton, famous for his MTV cartoons, were really like the most famous thing he did
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
on
Plimtoons. What was it called? Plimtoons.
Plimtoons. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, baby. The brain. Got it. So it's funny. This was the last edition, like, because I just, again, we're trying to tighten up the reviews days,
yeah.
and just
We're
try to
trying to
have
review the books.
maybe about 10. We're trying to find the 10 because some of them we know, like Two Face came out this week, and I didn't read it yet because I'm a bit behind, but I know what it's going to be. I get it. It's not going to be that much different than one, two, and three, and we know it's
No,
only five or
no.
six issues. I think it's five.
We're looking for the
Um,
stuff that like jump starts us, gets the heart going.
yeah, and
Um,
it's funny this week I skipped this because I figured like, well, I don't know, like I feel like
yeah,
it's been in kind of the same place. But this is a again, it's weird. It's that you have I think it's Dyke Bryan on the cover, not Juan Fagiri, but the art inside is not that different. This was
right.
dark as fuck. You said let's take a quick break. I'm going to go read Herculoids, and then you can read Ultimates. You have to, and I'm like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
So you're like, you'll like something in it. There's like 4 or 5 things in this, dude. It's really
No,
insane.
it's a good issue. It's a solid
Um,
issue.
we love both of us love, and the shirt that you have on has Jim Hammond on. Yeah, there we go. Invaders.
The
There you go.
Invaders, baby. Let me
I bought that
stand
for
up
you.
a little bit more.
That's a shirt. That was your
You did.
Christmas
This is a
present
present.
last year, or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
There you go. So that was bootleg shirt. Well, it's from a place that is taking old stuff, but good
Yes.
stuff. Good stuff.
Good
Frank
stuff.
Robbins. That's Frank Robbins,
Yep.
right?
I believe so.
Yeah. 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 So anyway, so we love Jim Hammond. I like this design of Jim Hammond because he it's his civilian outfit, but it still has the same pieces, right? Because he had that
Yes.
little belt,
Uh-huh.
half belt, and that. So um, you still have Ultimate Cap here in a little bit of that uniform, but it's less military. It's a little bit, it's like right in the middle, kind of perfect. I adopt this Hawkeye completely, and
Yes.
I think this Hawkeye has been really fun and uh, really, really good. This is really scary. This is scary that he thinks about. So Jim Hammond killed Hitler, is telling
Right.
a happy story, and then explains that because he's a computer,
An old computer.
he's an old computer, and he has, and you and I have this discussion kind of regularly because we have computers that aren't even that old. Well, yours is, but mine's not even that old. But I'm trying to figure out how much more I can put on the Google Drive.
Yes.
Because I want to keep this kind of clear. So we're kind of talking about space all the time. So he's talking about he's taken memories out. He knew how to play piano, but he had to take that out because he had to have new memories. But he
Right.
keeps this one in full color and high definition. I go back to it again and again. It keeps me warm. And him smiling there is the creepiest.
Because he's
That's
imagining
so
killing Hitler.
creepy.
Like he kept killing Hitler in 4K HD in his head. Like he forgot people, he forgot interactions with his creator. He's like, I
Yeah,
deleted memories, played a piano. But this one, mwah.
yeah. And then and again, this goes back to Cap's first appearance. It's like, all right, enough reminiscing about the good old days killing Nazis. The first appearance of Captain America is propaganda. We talked about it in either this or Reviews Day, where yeah, look, they helped, they advertise war bonds,
Yeah.
they advertise, Superman sell buy war
You know what's
bonds.
you know what's crazy about that cover? The United States wasn't in the war yet.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So
That
that
cover
hit
predated
Captain
that.
America,
It
yes, it
predicted the
predicted
Captain
that
America,
would
or would
punch Adolf Hitler.
at least be aiding foreign. He was foreign aid before foreign
Yeah.
aid was kind of a thing,
Listen, this is what we do. We
So
protect our
funny, man.
allies in Europe.
That's so insane. No, we don't. Not really. Not now.
Ah, we should.
Oh. Anyway, Castletown. So this is okay for me, but I feel like this Red Skull, the Red Skull being Red Skull of being the Punisher skull in Earth X, I thought was kind of revelatory. So I know you're lifting. I know you can lift. It's fine. You know what I mean? It's fine, but it's kind of funny because literally in as meta commentary,
Yeah,
that
super meta
Punisher
commentary.
that Punisher symbol was taken and kind of revoked by Casada, and a lot of people they wouldn't use Punisher and things because neo-Nazi groups, oh, Proud Boys, they use that as their
Yeah.
like symbol,
A lot
and
of
that's
cops
not
started using it as their symbol.
on
And he's
police
like,
cars, right?
yes,
Kind of
yeah, I seen it.
crazy. Yeah.
And like combining the two, because there's I don't know how much trouble I'm getting in here. There's a faction of people who are both pro Punisher, pro cop, pro Nazi.
Mm,
And this really delves into that. I just listened to a whole podcast about masculinity, and it's so interesting. Like
mm.
the way certain political parties are aiming at people, and this does that in a way without saying that out loud. So, yeah,
Yeah, I
this
think
was
it's
a
and they have a current Grand Skull, which I
grand
think is
skull.
really funny. You know, because
Yes.
they don't really talk about, but like the summer of Frank. So this is this summer of
So,
Sam
in
possibility
this world, the Punisher
in
was
this world.
active in the 70s.
Hmm.
So, in this world, he was post-Vietnam, Punisher in the 70s. Nice.
Yeah,
Really good. So that's a good
really
touch.
cool. And he was New York City officer turned vigilante. You know what I mean? Which is correct. That's correct.
Yeah.
So you're still following the Jerry Conway concept, right? You're still following all
Yes.
that stuff. No problem. You know, no problem. So, um, yeah, but just this and this is the thing that we kind of forget about Ultimates. I think I forget because again, Avengers is got more violent, but this has to be more violent. That's what made Ultimates shocking is just have violent deaths, Hulk's killing people, like it's real, it's more real life stakes. So here, having this Wasp is evil. It's so gross. You know what I mean? Like it's um you know, so that's scary stuff, you
Yeah.
know.
Well, she's not killing them. The thing that what this book gets right sometimes is that Miller and Warren Ellis and all the British writers always got right was that superpowers are fantastic. And we forget about we Marvel makes them seem normal at times. And
Hmm.
what Ultimates has to do is constantly remind us, look how awesome it is to shrink down and we're messing with their brains. Look at
Hmm.
that cap shield throw. How many times did Straczynski throw that shield? I can't remember,
Hmm.
like
Right.
memorably, what did he do with it? That's really neat looking. Human Torch. When was the last time Human Torch did anything interesting?
Right. Right.
Either of them, you know?
Right.
And I love the intrigue if he goes, I went to sleep in 1948 and then I woke up in 2024, but I know there was another Human Torch. What's going on? Were they using them? Did they use them without him knowing? Is it like
Hmm.
a Winter Soldier thing?
Right.
Like
Right.
I
Right.
don't know, but I love it.
Yeah, I like Jim Hammond. And again, Jim Hammond's having to we talk about this a lot, having to and it's Human Torch isn't technically legacy, but it kind of is because again, they just wanted to use Human Torch again. There was
Yeah,
already a Human Torch, so they're just like,
there was
let's use
already
him
Human Torch.
again, you know.
Yeah.
So so by having the Human Torch on, like I said, on you right now is Invaders. So here we go, a little
Yes, with Jim
Invaders
Hammond.
reunion coming, right? There's Invaders right there.
Toro.
Bucky with a shotgun, second week in a row. Um, you know, and again, Marvel used to kind of steer away from having Nazi symbols in books. So this is again good. Do it, leave it. You know what I mean? Like just have this stuff. It's our history, you know. But you're doing new history. You're doing neo-Nazi. Do it right. Fine. You know, again, like a lot of fun. Um, I like this again. Just a solid, right team. Like really good. Juan Figueroa is interesting because it's like this kind was it's the Imneman style, Beppe Larraz. Like I get it, but it's really good. The acting. Let me go back a page here. Look at this. Look at that. Like this here
Yeah,
with like the
yeah.
eye coming out. Like it's just like the personality of people getting de debilitated. It's pretty intense, you know. Or even just like a lot of character going on here.
Mm.
You know, drawing this a little bit bigger. It's not just goon number one, goon number two. You know what I
No,
mean?
they gave them distinct looks. Everyone looks
Yeah.
different.
Really fun. I hate this. I
I
hate
hate
this,
it
by
so
the way.
much,
I hate it,
which
and
makes it incredible.
mhm. Yeah, I hate this a lot. But because it's like he's pinned up like the insects you see, you know, like the pinning that you
Like
know.
what
Even
you're
my daughter's in entomology and in college, like she never liked that. She never liked doing it because she has a connection with the bug. right?
Yes.
So like it's just she understands it and understands it could be necessary, but she doesn't love the dissecting of stuff. She doesn't love it.
Hmm.
So having this up here, Invaders Reunion, um, yeah, really cool. It is a slightly different frame, and we'll know in a minute like why this different frame of Red Skull. Because I always feel like Red Skull is like it's a big hulking, bigger mass up
Yes.
top. But that goes more to the way villains were drawn. They're with like a bigger head than everyone else, right? You go
Well,
back to
anything. I think Red Skull was smaller always until the Grunwald era, where he remember he like died and then came back in a clone body of Steve
Mhm.
Rogers,
Right.
and then he
Yeah,
got
that's right.
his own death spray back in his face, and it turned his perfect Steve Rogers face into an actual Red Skull.
Steve
Love it.
Rogers face. Yeah, that's some fun Grunwald stuff here, man. So that's fun stuff. But yeah, I
Yeah.
really hate this. And yeah, this I wasn't sure what was going on here, but then this also goes into play where here he's trying to to verify that it's Namor. He's trying to verify that, that like he's trying to figure this stuff out. This stuff is following at least five different men fell the position of Grand Skull. So who was this most recent Grand Skull, right? Who was the most
Right.
recent Grand Skull, Red Skull? Steve doesn't know what he's talking about because remember it's mentioned often that he was in the Black Ice for a while. So see, nice to see Steve. Like, I don't know if in this world uh is the public knowledge that Steve Rogers is Cap. I'm not sure. Maybe not. Some continuities it is, some continuities I'm not sure about in this
Right.
new
Right.
one here. But here he's stating he killed that first technical Red Skull.
Yes.
So, really fun, but then having this was depressing. This was depressing, but I guess this is correct. I'm not sure what you do, you know.
I know.
Yeah.
You in the comic book reader in us wants like, can the water revive him? Can some Atlantean
I hope
mystic
so.
magic bring him back? I don't know.
I don't know. Do they? We don't really know how much. If Nomura is, we don't know who's available, right?
Yes.
We don't know who has been out in this world yet. So,
It's a different world because they say, I don't know if you're going to go to that page or not. Like, I guess he gets deposed from King. Then they say they kill his like wife and kids.
right,
Like,
right.
like to us, maybe a kid survived. We get son of Namor, daughter of Namor, preferably.
We can get Roman. Roman
Roman. That's right.
can't have
Well,
Roman though.
we're big Namorita fans. I'd love
Yeah,
to see more Namorita.
yeah.
This is funny.
Uh, Yeah, I like that. I like is just having Jim like kind of checking on Cap, just trying to. Everyone's trying to process. It was a
Yes.
pretty big day. Everyone's processing, but him rolling that memory back, which is again from earlier, and here we go. There we go. Bucky is Red Skull, Grand Skull over here.
I like this,
Again.
and I like that because he's not super soldier Bucky like they did in the movies. It's just
Mhm.
regular kid because he's a scrawny Red Skull. He's a little guy, so he's just an old man.
Right, right. Then we
You know?
figured that they may have some type of super soldier stuff over there that they're probably just keep messing with people, how he's still around, or maybe hit the ice or something. Who knows? We don't know. But the good thing is that like it again, it's a lot of good concepts. Again, it's funny. Last week there was Bucky, violent Bucky, also.
Yes.
The portrayal of violent Bucky, of Bucky getting the ear necklace taken off and being taken from him,
Right.
of him killing Nazis and putting ears on that. So having a demented listen, it's your major trauma to be at that age. It's a bad idea. I understand why it was in the sidekick era and just having that stuff and having kids relate to it, but it's really screwed up, really insane and screwed up. So I also like it. I didn't really put those pages in. You have Tony rebuilding himself, right? The computer and everything, and he's talking to
Yeah.
them, and
Yeah.
Caps literally dismisses him. I think I put it in there. Cap's like, yeah, shut up. Okay, shut up. Where is it? It's right here. Yeah, get some rest. Tony's talking. He's like, yeah, shh, shh, shh. I think it's really funny. Like he blows them off because what I felt as the reader too is the 2 or 3 pages that I'm like, I don't want Tony right now. I'm okay. I want to
No,
see what's
give
going
me.
on here. So whether that was done on purpose or not, I was annoyed by that. So when he said get some rest, Tony, I'm like, good, yeah. take that character out for a couple of issues, you know, because
Back in
this.
the day, there was a what if. Remember the what if all had the same powers?
Mhm.
Well, when they all had Human Torch powers, they all had slightly different color fire. It was really neat. But at the end of the story, Ben Grimm, Human Torch, joins the Avengers. And I'm like, that looks so cool. I'm
Mm.
like, why don't we have a Human Torch on the Avengers? And we got a dip of it with when John Byrne's West Coast Avengers. That's when they brought back Jim Hammond,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. Yep, yep.
So, and he bounced
With the
around
same
whenever he
cover
should.
he does with the Namor cover, which is the Jim
Yes.
Hammond cover.
So
It's
that
fine.
was awesome. I love having back Golden Age Human Torch. I don't know why no one had done it before that. I think there's a Strange Tales where he's kind of alive for like a minute, like Strange Tales #2 or something, where the two Human Torches fight.
There's a Marvel Masterworks, and I saw someone scanned it recently. It was Marvel Masterworks Marvel Oddities. There's a bunch of strange tales that are just not printed because they don't really ally with different
With
stories.
correct,
And
correct.
that's one of them, I think, too, in there. There's a lot of weird stories that are
When
just kind of popped in there.
when Slott wrote Avengers, what was an Avengers Academy? What was it before Avengers Academy?
Oh,
But it was Casanelli, right? Casanelli was drawing it.
yeah,
Slott
yeah,
was
yeah.
writing it,
It's Ellie.
and the training camp was called Camp Hammond, and Jim Hammond was there, and I'm like, this is a great usage of him.
I really like that book. That book was really good.
And it was
Um,
really good. And
and
another
they,
highlight when they gave Jim Hammond like Captain America's super soldier costume, but instead of having the star in the middle, it was like a flame. It was like red. I'm like, that's a really smart costume design.
what about did you like the Chip book a couple years ago? Thought it was annoying. It was Carlos Magno drew it. I just thought it was
Yeah,
annoying.
it was kind of boring.
Yeah, it was boring and annoying. So I didn't like it. No dice. No
No
mas.
dice. Carlos Magno. You know where he started? Transformer movie adaptations.
Okay. I think he showed
Like
up
the
on something a week or two ago.
not so much the adaptions, but the like other here's a prelude to the movie or here's,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Ironhide story or something.
Those preludes were always crap. They're always
They
bad.
were. They
They're
were.
always crap. Always crap. But good week of comics, a little later. But also when I was reading, I'm trying to put it together because I kind of like going back and forth in between the companies and it's getting kind of thick, man. It's hard to get back to the superhero stuff. So much of it's licensed stuff, man. It's like what do we review? 8, 9 books. 60% of them were licensed. sixty
Yeah.
percent of them are calling on feelings that we have that are not comic books. It's very dangerous. Very dangerous. Um,
Yeah, but we love our superheroes.
we do.
We truly,
We
truly
do.
do.
But Marvel's
But you
got
know
to
what?
get to work.
It's like we
Got to get
say
to
though,
work, man.
we want less quantity, more quality. Like give us less books with better talent. Like
Yeah.
we keep hammering this point every week we've slowly been discussing this and it's just one thing after another and like some books are doing it. This book's doing it. I'm really enjoying this book. But
I
that's
would
why the
not
X
be
books are
reading
failing.
anything of this. I wouldn't be reading any Ultimate book if it wasn't for this. I'm begrudgingly reading Spider-Man, but I feel like there's too many borrowed concepts. At least here, if we do a little bit of the Red Skull being Punisher Skull, it's a little lifted, but there's so many concepts that are not lifted. So I'm fine. And that's what it's supposed
Yes.
to do. You're supposed to sprinkle in Ultimates as a concept is you're going to do that. You're going to have the slap. You're going to have that. What do you do there? Like, uh, how are you going to have Janet get slapped? How are you going to deal with that today? So there are still things that they did that Miller did back then that still work and slaps. Totally slaps. No, not
Totally
slaps.
slaps.
Use that
But
wrong.
not jab. You
Maybe
know
I'm
what if
using
she
that
likes
wrong.
it? In the Ultimates role, she's like, is that all you got? Give me it harder.
Wow.
And then we go
That
to a
is
different thing.
I think we always end the episodes like this on reviews. Reviews, we
Something
always have
weird.
a weird sexual thing that we end it on. Super fun, super good. So, but yeah, stay tuned. Fun times ahead. Lots of new projects coming. Very exciting. March is
Yeah.
exciting. April's going to be a giant month for us. We're going to be doing lots of special
Listen, man,
projects.
we are about to get Youngblood. We're about to get Jim Lee on Batman. We are going to get a new Spider-Man book soon with Pepe Larraz drawing it. You know, hopefully it's good. We got an Ed McGuinness issue of Amazing Spider-Man about to drop.
Yeah,
You
which
know,
is
that's
gonna
a
tighten it up, tidy it all up.
hey, you know what? I don't know if you want me to do this separate or do it now, but I pulled this comic out to show you because I don't know if you had ever heard of it. It's called the Freedom Collective.
Mm,
You ever heard of
no,
it before?
no.
All right. It is a book. It's like, what if the Fantastic Four happened in Russia? And the book's all propaganda. It's like I don't even know who the creators are because it's like Comrade Barr.
Oh well.
Um, but check it out there. You can see like they're very the woolly mammoth kind of got me a little bit because I had my own woolly mammoth character back in the day. Let me
Mm.
see if I can find this. This is so hard. So anyway,
I put against your chest. Oh yeah.
okay, that
Screonk.
works. So it's good. So it's very much
Yeah.
like a Silver Age book. It's sadly in black and white, you know. But even as you get towards the end, there is there's fake ads. There's letters that parts of it have been redacted because of Russian propaganda.
Oh, fun.
It
Oh, that's
feels
fun.
like it could be like another issue of 1963. This book's probably 20 years old. Uh,
Really?
it's really fun, and they
Mm.
have JFK set up as the president of the United States, but he just feels like a mobster because it's the Russians what they want us to think of JFK. So this
Oh, I
book's
see.
great. I don't know how much it got out there, but they went and made a little trade. They like doubled the story. The Freedom Collective is what it's.
Hmm. And that's
They
Avengers 4. Avengers
yes
4
yes it is
homage.
kind of, but they got like fake covers in the back. Like it's very as if it's not 1963 inspired, but it's also Alan Moore Supreme inspired. I would love to reach out to these guys and get this thing in color and make it a faux
It
full
is
19.
does the trade have info of them? A
Very
little more?
little. It's called
Yeah.
Rough Cut Comics. I've never actually looked them up,
Hmm.
but I want to. I think
Because
it'd be
how
fun.
old is
Be
that book? The book's 20 years old.
yeah,
How'd you get that book?
yeah.
I don't even know about it.
I
Like,
think I got it at the comic store.
hmm, interesting.
Mark, it's from the 60s, obviously.
No,
No,
no, it's
it's
not.
not. No. It's from a alternate reality where the Fantastic Four happened in Russia. Yeah, the woolly mammoth character always bugged me because I had a woolly mammoth character. That's actually one of the characters I sent into the Savage Dragon Creative Villain Contest.
Is it a real woolly mammoth? Like it's a real woolly mammoth, or is it like Ursa Major? Is that what you're talking about? Like,
His looks like a straight up woolly mammoth.
oh, I see. Okay.
As a dude, it's like the thing, or mine looks more like a cross between Sasquatch and woolly mammoth. So it's
What,
different enough.
when did that trade come out? What year's that trade? Did you order that
You know
online
what?
or you
You know what?
ordered?
It's from the UK, Mark.
Oh,
Printed in the UK by UK Comics,
oh
but it
wow.
was distributed by Diamond.
Hmm.
Weird, I don't see a date on here.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I'll check it out on Grand Comics database.
You can get them on,
They'll
yeah.
have.
I mean, they're both on eBay, and they're not that expensive.
Hmm.
I would just
And
get them both. Yeah, fun stuff. I
well,
just thought I saw that the other day. I'm like, oh, let me bring them out and show Mark because he's probably a lot of people haven't
no,
heard of them.
I never
But
heard of it at
it's
all.
so that's my rare weird book of the week. Every once in a while, we gotta pepper that in with the new stuff we read.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I've been like I told you before, I'm digging into Green Lantern. I was like issue 10.
Okay, you
Not
doing it
like
on the DC app?
yes. So the first,
Good
the
catch up.
first yeah, it's a good catch up. And then I'll just have to buy the last couple issues, which isn't a big deal. Jeremy Adams, he dared me to read his stuff. I'm like, yes,
He
sir.
dared you. So you
I
got
dare
to.
you to buy all my comics.
Yeah, DC
Well,
app. I'm reading. I feel like Marvel is not really updating. I mean, they're updating what they're updating, but I feel like so much of their stuff is their new Infinity comics that I just sort of find so boring. Uh, and because they're basically just comics that are just going like that. Like
yep,
they're just
yep.
not that creative.
Trying to get the webtoon feel.
Yeah, it's not working. But the DC app, like I guess this week, just because I was looking at a lot of the Jay Lee covers, I wanted to read. I was like, I never read that Jay Lee Batman Superman, so I'm reading that now, Greg Pak, and then it goes to Brett Booth
Yeah,
and back to Jay Lee. But I never read that run at all, so I'm in that now. I'm doing panel to panel because Jay Lee stuff is really fun to look blown up, So
yeah. And like I was
June
saying
Chung,
earlier, uh, Wildcats trilogy is on the DC app.
is it
So
missing stuff?
I think it's missing a page.
Come on, people,
Just I know, because I do that.
you're the police.
I
You
know.
are the
I am the
page
police.
police.
Visit the page. There was a keepsake collection of that, and there's two extra Jay Lee Wildcats pieces that never got used anywhere. Because, Jay Lee does promotional pieces and then they don't get used. And there was they put out a trade of that, and I think the trade has a new Jay Lee cover too. Back then.
Hmm.
I love it, man. I love it. So,
Th- There's two different trades?
no, no, no. I'm saying the trade has a new cover.
Yeah, but what's the keepsake collection? What do you mean? That was
Keepsake collection is just comic book size postcards. They put them in a white envelope. There'd be like
oh,
five of
that's right.
them.
That's right. Yeah,
X-Force
that
had
was
one. Spider-Man had two.
yeah,
Youngblood has them. Dragon has them.
that's right.
They're really Prophet has them, and usually they each one has something that's like unpublished.
Right, right,
And
right.
the Wildcats one has a full Wildcats piece by him. Jim Lee, there's a Wildcats Jim Lee one. They're
I've seen
fun.
him out in the wild here and there, but I never bought any because I think they were always like $30 a piece.
They're always like 20 to 30 bucks. Yeah. So
Tough
you're
ones.